Well, good morning.
Good
And
morning.
thank you, Cori, for saying yes. You and I go back a long time, and we've gone through many, many seasons and many transitions together. Amazing transitions, hard transitions, and really, the saving grace is our commitment to each other, to, how, we always create an honest, authentic, safe space to
hmm
be able to lean in and share. And I can't thank you enough. Without even knowing what this was, you said yes, as usual. So thank you. So we're going to lean in. I'm going to start. So every transition carries an invitation to live more freely. So in this season, what are you letting go of?
Um, I think I'm letting go of the would have, should have, could haves. Um, Realizing you know, there's no control over life, and I have to be in the day and let go of those expectations. Where I should be and who I should be, and you know, sort of evaluate my life and just stay present. And I'm letting go of expectations.
I love that. What feels like it's beginning, even if it's not fully clear yet?
Mm, what's beginning? Uh, I'm beginning to depend on myself, and I'm beginning to understand that it will be okay, whatever it is. I am jumping in with 2 feet because of my situation of losing my husband so unexpectedly, and uh, and I was dependent on him and to make things okay. And he is no longer here. So it's up to me uh, to take control of my life and to understand that everything is fixable.
Mm.
If I can't make the most terrific mistake because everything is fixable. Um, and so I'm trying not to be afraid. I'm trying to just, instead of putting the brakes on, I'm moving, trying to move forward.
Are there parts of your story asking to be shared, honored, or rewoven?
Parts of my story, I realized, how I sort of ruled with an iron fist. I had expectations of everybody, um, uh, and I wanted to have my hand in everything, but I didn't want to commit to anything. I wanted a social life. I wanted to be a mother. I wanted to be a worker. I wanted this. I wanted that, and it allowed me to do everything at 50%. And and I'm trying to refine my life now so that I am pick the things that I choose to do, that I enjoy doing, and give it my all. So that's how I would do things differently now in terms of my story.
What might shift if you gave yourself permission to speak honestly without judgment?
I'm a pretty open person, and I speak honestly about things, but I never spoke honestly of how I really felt about me.
Mm.
You know, I could talk about things that I didn't do well. I could talk about, that I didn't feel, you know, the things that I did. I spoke honestly about like what I wasn't good at, um, but I never really opened to anybody how I actually felt about who I was.
Mm.
And today I can do that. Today I can do that.
Mm.
And that's very healing. And I wish that I would have said these things to my husband before he passed, so maybe he would get an understanding of why I acted the way I acted.
How has community supported you through this change and transition?
Um, I had moved to Florida. It was my husband's dream to go to Florida and to retire in Florida, and we were both going to stop working. Um, and I imagined what my life would look like. And then 6 weeks after moving in, he went on a snowboarding trip with a bunch of guys and had a heart attack. I dropped him off at the airport at 5:30 in the morning, and I never saw him awake again. And I flew to Colorado, and sort of the story goes. And I was in this community that I had just gotten there. I chose to not go anywhere that I knew people because it was going to be sort of an open slate for us, to form friendships, to not feel obligated to be responsible for other people. And here I was 6 weeks later, basically alone. Um, and my community embraced me, really embraced me. And I found other women in the same situation I was. And I got very involved in things that I enjoyed. And, it's one thing to make a move and one thing to meet people. It's another thing to do it without a spouse.
Mm.
So, you know, a huge transition in more ways than one.
What would you tell women who are afraid of aging, going through difficult, traumatic transitions, and life?
I think through it all, through everything, you have to be comfortable with who you are. And if you're comfortable with who you are, um, you can get through anything. You need, of course, you need a support system. Of course, you need to rely on people. But people ask me all the time, am I dating? Am I dating? And the thought of making space now for another person, the thought of what I need to like look like to go out to date, and who I need to pretend or be, um, and to have to alter myself for somebody else, I'm not there.
Mhm.
I'm not there. I want to be comfortable with who I am and not who I should be based on what somebody else is looking for. And, you know, work in progress. And, uh, and for women, if they're okay with who they are, they can face anything.
What risk are you most grateful that you took?
I'm so not a risk taker in a lot of situations. I've had the same 25 years, lived in the same house. I don't like change. Um, And honestly, it was easy for me to sort of have my husband take the lead. And if, we made any kind of change and I was not comfortable, I could, I can make it his fault, you know, I can make it his fault. So, I didn't have to take responsibility, let him do it. And then if I'm not happy, you know, it's on him, and I let him know it. And what risk? Well, I stopped being an employee. I started to be a rep. I'm going to going to renovate a place, which I would never renovate on my own. I'm going to actually have people at my house and never entertain without him being there, because he got everything together. He got the music going, and he took care of the behind the scenes and enabled me to look okay. And now it's up to me. So I'm putting myself out there.
Yes, you are. It's such a gift because you and I have 40 years from
Yep.
before. Well, you had the husband before babies, and I have got, we have locked arms and, went out in the world. So I have had like VIP seats to your life, to our life together as girlies, as
Mm-hmm.
sisters.
Yep.
And you are absolutely standing in your light. You are standing in your power for the first time. And, it's like your insides are finally matching your outsides. And that's what I get to witness. So, one word answers. These are going to be rapid fire
Okay.
questions. One word that describes your 60s. One thing that women overthink.
One thing that women overthink. Uh, I think that women expectations,
Something you stopped apologizing for.
speaking my mind,
A daily ritual you cherish.
FaceTiming with my grandson.
And one belief you've outgrown.
Love is the answer. I've outgrown
Yeah.
that. That like one belief I've outgrown that you know. Uh, uh, I've power. I have no power over anybody or anything. That was a lot of words, Cher.
I love it. It's okay. It's, I'm more than a one word answer gal. So if you could sit beside your, let's say, 50-year-old self,
Mm-hmm.
what would you whisper?
Live your life with gusto. Go for it. Don't second guess yourself for everything. You know
And if this chapter is called What Now? How would you answer it today?
what now? Live in the moment. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but just love what I have at the moment. Love what I
And
have
that is so,
and live in
so
gratitude. And so much of my life is in fear. What am I afraid of?
I want to say like this is in memory of Howard, who was our best friend too. And I know he's he's always with us. Talk about a legacy. Talk about living life out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, leaning into people that he loved and people that he didn't even know, and
Yeah.
I we all want to be Howard and how he lived his life. And
Hmm.
so,
No victims, no regrets. Never a victim. Never a victim.
no. And
Go, just go for it attitude, totally. And he, at 100%, he gave everything 100%.
everybody.
Mm,
So I want to say I love you.
love you too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And let's continue to transition forever together,
Hmm.
one day at a time.
Okay. Hopefully we'll be playing Rummy Q one day at a table for 4 women, and I'll still be eating those M&Ms
And chewing gum.
and chewing gum. Chewing gum. Maybe I'll have a facelift and maybe I won't. Time will tell.